In this video, I want to focus specifically on creating the relative frequency ogives for the financial stocks and retail stocks data that we were given earlier in the problem. So I want to quickly scroll back just to see this was the relative frequency distributions that we were asked to create. And we were told to use a first class lower limit of -20 and a class width of 20. All right, let's scroll back down. Open up that data inside of StatCrunch, and we have the data here. So the first thing I want to do is go to Stat, Tables, and Frequency. We're going to look first at the financial stocks, and I have to remember that ogives are cumulative. So since this one is a relative frequency ogive, I want to find the cumulative relative frequency. I need to update the information here of bin values that were given. And something a little bit different, I'm going to store this information in the data table. Click Compute. Normally we have the distribution in this little pop-up window, but notice now it's actually in the table itself. All right, so the next thing I want to do is change these intervals to be actual X values that I can plot. For ogives, each cumulative relative frequency, relative in this case, is going to be plotted with an X value at its upper limit. Now, the particular intervals we're given here end at 0, but notice it's not including 0, so I need to back up one either whole number or 1/10 place. Really, you would decide that based off of the information you're given. I think here it's okay to back up just one unit, so one like whole number. So I'm taking 0 and I'm subtracting 1. I'm looking here, the limit goes right up to 20. Subtract 1, so that means it's going to include the value 19, and so forth and so on. Each time I'm looking at what was listed as right up to the upper limit, like 200, subtract 100. Ogives also start at the x-axis, so I will need to add a row. To do this, I will go to Edit, Rows, and Insert, and I want to insert one row right before the first row. And it's going to start at the y value 0. These widths need to stay the same. So each width was 20, so let's subtract 20 from the -1, and I would have -21. So think of it as you're backing up here. Okay, this is the information that I now need to graph. The type of graph I'm going to select is the scatter plot, because I have both X and Y data that I'm graphing. So the X variable are the financial stocks. I believe it was this one. And Y variable was the cumulative relative frequencies. Something else I want to do is display both points and lines. I believe that's the only thing I'm going to change here. So just points and lines. And let's compute. This is the cumulative relative frequency, or in other words, the relative frequency ogive for the financial stocks. If I need more information, just like in the last example, if I have two choices that are really close to each other, don't forget that you can open this window here and see the graph much larger to compare. And you can see more clearly that that is the best choice. A is the best choice for this particular stock. I'll do the same type of thing for the next one. Again, I know that's not probably the most straightforward process, but that is what relative frequency ogive is all about.